Word. Okay, let's try this again. I was having some technical difficulties earlier, so let's try it again. Let's go. I rebooted the computer, re-plugged in all the stuff, and yeah, man, let's go. All right, today, publishing a book in 14 days, day 2, part 2. I'm Gabriel Rathway, as you can see here. I'm a author of From Chef to Crafter to Conqueror. Books 1 through 5. I Am Gamer 1 through 5. Earth Online 1 through 5. Can you sense a pattern here? Warrior Academy 1 through 5. And a few odds and ends. Oh, God. All right. Let's go. Cool. Let me do something here. Bum, 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 bum. All right, that is good. We are live on the Twitch. Boom, 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 boom. What I dislike is about StreamYard is I can't. Oh, see, there's Kick. Is that's my voice. I sound like this. I sound like if you ever watch Kill Tony. If anybody's familiar with Kill Tony, it's a comedy show. Oh, I don't need that. That's live. Okay, good. So it looks like everything's good. Cool. Kill Tony is a comedy show on YouTube. Really funny. So anyway, yeah, we are live. We are good to go. Let's get back to it. I got stuff to do. I got admin work to do, and I've got book work to do. So yeah, is what it is. All right. So today we're gonna pull back up book 3. That's not the one. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. This is fine. Oh, okay. All right. Home. Resets. Boom. Well, I don't know. What page were we on? 20, I think. You old bully, Jiro. Okay, here we go. Yep, so that's where I was with that. Okay, so I should be able to finish 20, 30-ish pages today. Today. Let me put this. You know, what do you see when... Oh, okay, so you just see that. You don't see all the surrounding stuff. All right, cool. Oh, yeah, I was going to turn on my Discord. Discord app. I don't have it installed. I think I have an account. I'll just pull that up. Discord. Yeah, I do. Here. Let's do that here. Wait, over here. Bong. And opening browser. All right, where is... Oh, this is not an unclaimed account. Settings. That's not it. Log out. Well, I wonder how everybody is doing today. What is my password? Let's see if we can log in with QR code. Dude, I'm such an old man. I hate this shit. All right, here we go. Let's try again. Discord. Allow. Rescan. Never scan. Okay, yeah, I got it. You're in. Agree. Okay, boom, in. So, just apply it. All right. This is me. Inbox for you. Yeah, so I am considered. You see me moving like this as I'm switching my leg. The legs of my table are right in between my legs, so I can't like move right. But it's a little loud, huh? Um, so let's put that back. All right, so I'm considered. Ding dong. I'm considered an Athon author. My books aren't out yet, but they're coming. Dom as well. So this is the Athon Discord. If you would like to join, feel free to join. I don't ever fuck with it because I'm such a troglodyte. If anybody doesn't know what troglodyte means, not really, but shit, man. Yeah, this I don't even know when my book's coming out. I'm thinking probably Christmas because Mr. Lister, the great, super talented Mr. Lister, is doing the recording. And he sent me such a phenomenally nice email that I want to read it. I want to read it to you guys. It was great. But let's see. So here, if you want to hop in, look, 9:20. That was the last time I was in here. 9:20. If you want to hop in here, I'll have I guess it's Glit. That's what it is. I don't know. I really don't know how this works. So if anybody feels like doing it, hop in. I'll keep it up if somebody hops in. And besides that, let's get going. Right? That's pretty bright. Let me switch to here. That's good. That's good. All right. Cool. So Discord's up. If anybody wants to join, I guess. I don't know. I don't really fuck with it. I don't really fuck with it. Anyway, yeah. What else? What else? I need to do some admin stuff, which is update. I got these like fake swords. I'm doing HEMA. I've been doing mace training, but it's hard work when your elbow's all jacked up. I gotta put my brace on later. All right, so let's go to the pod. One follower on the pod. Woo! Manage. And I need to update Dom's, let's see, episode list. All right, 13 episodes. I'm waiting. This is, if anybody knows, this is a pain in the ass. I'm waiting for Spotify to approve it, Amazon Music, and iHeart. I don't know why it's not. Like, it's really kind of a pain in the ass. Like, I'm waiting on this. Publish it. And it won't let me. So you go in here. I don't know why it won't let me. I don't know why it won't let me. I know I have an audio. Why is that? Is that Discord? God, I don't like Discord. It's not that I don't like it. I just don't know how to use it. That's what it is. I don't know how to use Discord. And honestly, I don't really feel like figuring it out right now. I don't feel like figuring this out either. Man. Like, I'm still waiting iHeart here. But, okay, what is this saying? Let me see. Let's do good old ChatGPT. Hi. I'm trying to submit my podcast to Spotify via Podbean, and it's stopping me at the step where it says published at least one podcast category. Got it. This is super common little snag when submitting through Podbean. Here's what's going on and how to fix it. Spotify, okay. Fucking A, ChatGPT. Goddamn, some days I'm like, it's never gonna fucking take over the world, and some days I'm like, it's gonna take over the fucking world. This is a clip for the machine. Log in. Okay, let's see. Spotify most requires says one category selected in its metadata. What is that beeping? Is that Discord? All right, fuck Discord. I'm out of here. Discord, your beeping is fuck your beeping. Fuck your beeping, Discord. All right, log into Podbean. Let me click Settings, General Settings. All right, let me move this over here. Settings, General Settings. Scroll down till you see Podcast Category. Save. Right. Okay. I have that. Fiction, arts, books. Okay, save. Then what? So try again, I guess? All right. Well, let's try again. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of... Well, let's see what happens. All right, Spotify. Go to submission. Episode. Select from account. Audio. Story. Forge. Episode 1. The beginning. Wah, 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 wah. And let me pull up. Do I have? Yeah, I do. Okay. That isn't right. I need this one. Here we go. All right. More. Here he is. I gotta add DOM's metadata too. Control C. Control V. Okay, it looks good. In. And let me grab this. Control C. Okay, 2 stories. And the stories. Blah, 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 blah. Looks good. In. Publish. All right. And then distribution. Episodes. We just did that. So let me get rid of. I don't know. View. I'm having a problem with okay, episode 1. All right, so I got to do all these Story Forge. So I need to put all of these on audio as well as wait, that's not right. Where's the That's not right. Edit. All right, what is the story? I don't have all this information. Well, that's that. Let's see. Twitter, X. What's my X file? Let me see if I have Dom's info. Let's see. All right. Man, this is so much admin work. Player FM, view. Well, I'm not doing that in a moment. Well, it's not doing it. Yeah, I don't know why this isn't working. All right, well, I don't have time for this. I gotta do this. I'll just have to sit here and do this tonight and spend the whole night troubleshooting this. Whatever, man. Whatever. Let's just get back to work. Let me close this down. Yeah, that didn't work. I'll have to try it again later. All right. Well, it is what it is. Look at all this stuff open. Let's close Steam. Let's close ChatGPT. Let's close Spotify. Let's close Copilot. Let's close Steel. Let's close whatever the shift browser. Oh, wait. Let's close quit. Exit. All right. Okay, so back to the book. Switching legs again. We have 11 days left to finish and then hit submit. So today I'm going to work on the cover too at some point. I'm not quite sure what I want it to be. I usually have a good idea by now, but... And then I have to get it to my cover artist. So he has at least a week to work on it, so I have to get that done in the next couple of days. And by me getting it done, it's like stick figure art. All right. You know what's crazy? You can't see because of my face here. Well, let me just do this. So because, not you, Siri, get out of here. So because of my, wait, you can't see my, can you? No. All right, so down here, 14,427. I think we were at like 13,400 when I started rewrites and edits. So by the time we're at page 30, this will be at 15,000 words. So that's like 1,500 words. So 1,500, 13 times 6, 6 times 13, 6, it's like another 9,000 words. So, or more. So I think we'll have another 8 or 9,000 words, maybe 10 plus as I go through the edits. So that's probably going to make it like 20 or 30,000 words into book 7. So that's pretty cool. So we'll see. All right. Let us knock out the rest of this chapter. Okay. A few seconds passed, then Jiro, Dan Poe, and I all burst out into laughter. So hard, tears came to our eyes. We did this for about 5 minutes. The soldiers, the sailors, and Marines around us giving our group worried looks. But after regaining control, I just patted Lord So on the back. I figured as much. But don't worry. I think it might actually work in our favor. Besides, our new friend, the little hobbit guy, calls himself Gigi, asked if we could help him out. I explained. All three men sobering up and giving me curious looks at my words. I think I said earlier I'm starting HEMA. So, alright, let me put my face back up here. Because that's why everybody watches. They're watching this for my face. Not for how to write a book in a few days, right? Or in a month and a half. Also, you know what? Let me finish the chapter and then I'll do it. This thing is dope. It's a giant plastic fake broadsword. Weighs about 3 pounds. But you'd be surprised how much that messes with your muscles with that center of weight way out when you do it. I don't know. Oh, the little goblin. The smelly little goblin asked for our. Oh, the smelly little goblin asked for our help, Jiro replied. Jiro queried. I don't know about that. Little. Period. Those little monsters are known to be notorious thieves and liars. Ouch! Jiro jumped and began hopping on one foot and massaging the other leg's shin. We are not thieves and never liars. It's just that you big people are stupid dummies. Gigi shouted in his pip-squeak voice from Jiro's side where he just kicked the old ninja in the... Where he just kicked the old ninja from... Where he just surprised kicked the old ninja from... You seem to be losing a step, old boy. That little fellow snuck right up on you, Lord So teased. Lord So chuckled, teasing his spy master. All earlier traces of his embarrassment nowhere to be found. Jiro spun and bent down so fast that I was afraid the older man gave himself whiplash. Or pulled a muscle at the least. But the effect he was going for worked as intended. He stopped only an inch from Gigi's terrified face. Listen here, little goblin. Listen. Listen here, little goblin. Do not take Ryo-sama's kindness as acceptance or weakness from the rest of us. He is unfamiliar with your kind. But believe you me, I am extremely familiar with you and your kind. I know the goblins of the Isle of Luzon and its capital, Ruzun. If you so much as nick an apple from the larder, I will chop off your grubby little fingers and feed them to the fishes. Do you, yeah, that needs periods. Do, period, you, period, understand, period, me, period. Goblin. He is unfamiliar with your kind, right? He's unfamiliar with your kind. Period. But, believe you me, I'm extremely familiar with you and your filthy brethren. And that's some fucking... Okay. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Good. Okay. Gigi cowered back. Gigi cowered, shying away from the shinobi, coward, shying away from the visceral anger that Jiro projected at him. His entire body locked in a fight or flight. In his case, flight. I dislike the E and dash thought loop. G cowered, shying away from Jiro's visceral anger. His entire body was locked in a fight or flight, in his case, flight, thought loop that resulted in the little guy wetting himself. This was not the result Jiro was looking for, and the addition... Okay, let's use this one and we'll go through. All right. Gigi cowered, shying away from Jiro's visceral anger. His entire body was locked in a fight or flight, in his case, flight, thought loop that resulted in the little guy in the poor, little guy wetting himself. This had not been the result Jiro was looking for. Wait, no. This was not the result Jiro had been looking for. And when he included the addition of Princess G and her lady attendants, period. When he included the addition of Princess G and her lady attendants inserting themselves in situation, things took a turn even further for the worst. This was not a good sign for the old ninja spy master. When he included the addition of Princess G and her lady attendants inserting themselves into the situation, things took a turn even further. What the fuck that's? For the worse. That's a turn of phrase, stupid. I had I had never seen the man. Okay. I had never seen the man so decidedly set on disliking someone or something so stringently. But I knew he probably had his reasons, which I'd ask him about later. For now, I just held my tongue and enjoyed the show. What is the matter with you? Show about to take place. What is the matter with you, you old bully? I was recording one of my books way back in the day, and I tried to do it with a feminine voice and a non-feminine voice. No bueno. What is the matter with you, you old bully? Can't you see that he is terrified? Do you enjoy picking on those smaller than you? Do you, Jiro-sama? Princess Ji intoned, the full measure of her royal lineage surfacing as she berated the old man and poked her finger in his chest. The sight of a beautiful 5'0" song princess in full regalia, chastising the usually prim and proper spymaster, who was also almost a foot taller than her, was like watching a schoolteacher address a particularly naughty student. Period. It was one memory that I'd remember for the rest of my life. In fact, I filed it away in my mind under things to remember when I was feeling down. In the folder titled Funny Things. Wait, on that one titled In My Mind. Mental folder titled Funny Shit to Laugh About When I Was Feeling Down. You know that it could easily be you in that position, and was, and had been you not so long ago. You know that it could easily be you in that position, and had been not so long ago. Do you not remember the first boot camp and what they referred to you as? Alan teased, also enjoying the current show of the current drama of the dressing down. Of course, I'd never forget that when I wasn't around, everyone called me that bastard. Among other things. I sighed, shaking my head ruefully and chuckling at the moniker and memories. I'd earned that nickname as the boot camp I'd ran as sole drill instructor, comma, I'd earned that nickname as our first boot camp's sole drill instructor. Princess Ji, Lord So, and the others I'd earned that nickname as sole drill instructor. I'd told Princess Ji, Lord So, and the others that this was the most difficult boot camp this would be the most difficult boot camp in recorded human history. I know this because I asked Alan to help ensure it was so. And as I told the AI after we developed the training regimen, he was a sadistic genius. He'd responded by somehow tricking me into doing all the hellish training alongside the first boot camp class. After making sure I could do it alone once ahead of time. This resulted in me having to do 2, 3 hellish daily workouts when you included the Class S training, which at the time I'd cursed him for. But seeing as that was the only way for me to be accepted by both classes and not hated for eternity, I'd forgiven him. It also wasn't that bad for me, as I had my internal nanobots to aid my recovery. The little hobbit... What's going on? Good to go. Okay. The little hobbit had retreated behind Princess G and was peeking out and sticking... And... It wasn't that bad for me, as I had my internal nanobots to aid my recovery. The others weren't so lucky. Whoopa. Oi, what's up, Dom? Let's see. Well, that's a lot of messages. Let me see what this says. Oops.
I know I'm being patient, but any news on the podcast? And I just saw something not fucked up. It just gave me chills. So there's this video. I should save it, to be fair.
Oh wait.
Could I remember what?
I am gonna mute the microphone for a moment. So yeah, let me.
And then the guys.
All right, you can listen to this. It's just, it's just him talking about All right, he's talking about Hey, yo, you're on the pod, Dom. You're on the stream, dog. You're on the stream.
Sorry, back up. So the guy says, "Stay there from all day, and you get to leave."
Yeah, watch this video. It's
And the guy says, "Okay." So
he's explaining it. Here, I'll let him finish.
a couple of weeks later, the guy's friends on skateboards skates past him. "Oh, come on, we're going to down the park. It's nice and sunny. Let's go." And the young guy is like, "I can't. I need to stay here." and I've got this job to do. And so they were like, all right, see you later. Fast forward now, the young guy looks like middle age or like early 30s, and he's in a suit, or like a kind of disheveled suit. And then the same guy hasn't aged a day, comes and greets him and says, "Oh, Bill, you've done a great job. Come with me." And the guy in the suit almost looks like the devil, or like just a white version, walks with him, and he goes, "You've done an amazing job. I'm going to increase your salary by 20%. And here is your new job." And it's all it is. It's just a bigger box. Bigger, like, not even a box, it's just a square on the floor, and a bigger square. And the guy goes, "Oh, what do I have to do? Is just stay here." And then, fast forward, the guy is now old, and the same guy comes up to him, hasn't aged a day, and then gives him his pay. And then the old guy now goes, "I like to retire now. I like to enjoy my life." And then the same guy goes, "Yeah, sure." The same, not aged in one bit, says, "Yeah, sure." And the old guy steps out the circle and has a heart attack and dies. That just freaks me the fuck out. I'm not even high. That freaked me the fuck out. Like, I need to get out of 9 to 5, man. I need to get out of 9 to 5. This shit needs to work.
For sure, bro. All right, let me mute it again. Sorry, but yeah, that was. I've seen that I've seen that video before, and it's. If you want to look it up, I'll pull it up on the fucking stream in a second. Hold on, let me listen to these last two messages, and then I'll pull it up. All right, here is the thing he's talking about here. Old man, skateboard, work, box. All right, let's do that. Actually, let's do Control C. Video. Where is that? Old man offers job to kid on skateboard workbox video. Let's see if that works. Here we go. Wait, that is really long. Here. TikTok. Here. Let's see if. All right, so here is the vid. Oh, this is so long. Basically, so he just graduates, right? And he's hanging out with his friends. He just graduates. This is the video that my friend just watched, and he's like, fucked him up. He's like, I gotta make it, man. Let's go. That's true, bro. It's fucking true. It's like, so this is like a metaphor for life, right? This is what happens when you become an adult. This is the shit. I think he's gonna go blow him. That's what he says. Yep. It's it's a messed up video. If you know, it's messed up video. This is where you sell out. This is where you like. This is where you. This is where you make your. You give up. You sell your soul. That's what they say, right? Beautiful day. Sit there for hours. Day goes by. It's so sad. It's what most of us do. Fuck, you know. It's messed up, man. That's how they get you. Golden handcuffs, dude. Golden handcuffs. I'll tell a story in a minute that really messed me up, but I'll tell it in a minute. This is where they get you. Look, now he's in his fucking clothes, right? Wearing the tie. There's his friends. What are you doing? So depressing. It is really, if you're young, it's this is a real fact of life that happens, and you really get sucked into it real quick, and before you know it, you're 20, you're 30, you're 40 years old. I got out at 35, basically, and then it's not easy too getting out. It's really not easy. Because most people, man, most people, you can't get out that box. Can't think outside that box. Gives you the chills a little bit. If you've lived this through this, it kind of gives you a little bit of the chills because you're like, shit, I did that. Spent my whole day doing something like that for somebody else for a little bit of money. So depressing. Look at that. Oh, dude. All right, let's keep going. No, 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 no. Stuck in the box. It's kind of nuts. So you get the symbolism. He works for a clown. Older and older. Crazy. It's a bigger box. Now he's old. And this is what fucked him up the most. Get outside the box. Oh wait, I thought he had a heart attack. Okay, there's another one where he has like a heart attack. I thought, whatever. All right, that's not so bad. Dom, you're being a little bit of a puss. All right, let's roll. Let's roll then. Okay. Which at the time I'd cursed him for, but oh wait, let's put some music back on. Which at the time I cursed him for. But seeing as that was the only way for me to be accepted by both classes and not hated for eternity, comma, I'd done it. Eventually, I'd forgiven Alan, since doing the extra exercise wasn't really all that bad for me, as I had my internal nanobots to aid my recovery. The others weren't so lucky. The little hobbit, the boot camp attendees, and boys of Class S, and boys of Class S didn't have such a luxury. The little hobbit had retreated behind Princess G and was peeking out, and what Princess G, but was peeking out slightly and sticking his tongue out at Jiro, who was getting angrier and angrier. Wait, that's not right. He was peeking out slightly and sticking his tongue out at Jiro, giving him a silent raspberry. While period. The entire situation was hilarious, especially because Jiro was getting angrier and angrier by the second. Despite the hilarity, despite the despite the amusement, I decided it was time to step in and de-escalate the situation. It was long past time for the bastard to make his appearance. No. Yeah, I don't think so. That's enough of that, I shouted in my drill instructor voice, using my nanobots to help project my deep basso even lower on the octave scale, to cause physical vibration in those around me. Everyone, even the sailors up atop the mainmast, stared at me in shock. Maybe I overdid that a little, I internalized to Alan. You think? Came his dry reply. The shock of those surrounding us, the shock on those surrounding us wore off quickly, and the sailors returned to work as Lord So and the other members of the command cadre burst out into laughter. That's good old Momotaro, Lord So chuckled. We were wondering if we'd see him again. It had been a while. That's right, Jiro added, smiling. His earlier anger at the hobbit dissipated. He's back. Another round of laughter broke out at my expense, as they all knew how much I disliked the mystical moniker, even after I came clean and told them all about how I was from a different Earth, from a different timeline, and from far in the future. They insisted on not dropping the Momotaro shtick. That is a tough fucking paragraph. Jesus. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha, I replied, patiently waiting for them all to get patiently waiting for them to get control of themselves. Not annoyed in the slightest. Oh, is that so? Why then are your vitals spiking and your left foot tapping impatiently while your right eyelid flickers due to the vein that is protruding from your temple? Alan innocently asked. Shut up. I didn't bother adding anything to the statement and instead left the poop deck grumbling the entire way to the bridge, ignoring all those calling and laughing at catcalling and laughing at my back. My posture ramrod straight. My posture ramrod straight. With my posture ramrod straight, I opened the hatch and entered the bridge. The comms, our radio setup, the comms room, our radio setup was located in the bridge and directly connected to the bridge, period. It was directly connected to the central radio tower we built on Iki Island before beginning our trip to Kamakura. A member of Class S was manning it. Currently, one of the members of Class S was manning it, Marco Polo himself. The leader of the 10 teenager team that had joined them on this expedition. The young European explorer It was Marco Polo himself. The leader of the 10 teenager team who joined them on this expedition. All right, that's better. Okay. It was directly, okay. The young European, okay. It was Marco Polo himself, the head of the 10 teenager team, joining them on this expedition. The young European explorer was not what I had been expecting when I first arrived 1,000 years in the past. And on a parallel version of Earth. First, I hadn't realized he'd spent so much time in the court of Kublai Khan. In my history, that tidbit of information is glossed over in the historical record. Alan had to pull up all the relevant information and teach it to me in Earth's history, and teach it to me Okay. Alan had to pull up all the relevant information in Earth's history and teach it to me right after meeting the young man. It had been a surprising revelation that had worked out in our favor. The young Venetian was a brilliant philosopher, an excellent fighter, and a born leader. He okay. First, I hadn't realized he'd spent so much time in the court of Kublai Khan. That tidbit of information is glossed over in my history. Alan had to pull up all the relevant information that we had in my neural implant from Earth's entire history. Period. Then he taught it to me shortly after meeting the young man. It had been a surprising revelation, one that worked out in our favor. Okay. The only problem with Grammarly is it takes a while to cook up. What was Homeboy saying? Where's Tino? No, yes. Here, let me see if something. My wife's home. Hey. How's it going?
Oh, hey.
How was acupuncture?
Good.
Yeah? Doing all
Are
right?
you streaming?
Oh, you went to the grocery store? Yeah. I'll take a break in a minute. Okay. The young Venetian was a brilliant philosopher, an excellent fighter, and a born leader. He had hit it off with the Class S commander, Yoshi, with the two becoming fast friends. The only reason Marco Polo wasn't the leader of Class S was that Yoshi was even better than he was. At first, I'd been worried that the competition between the two teenage boys would become a detriment to their growth, but I'd been wrong. Completely wrong. The two had acted as foils for the other, as steel sharpened steel. They had pushed each other to greater and greater heights, so much so that I considered them the two best trained and deadliest young men I'd ever met. That included the special forces I'd known in the future. Sans biomedical implants. And even then, it was a close thing. The boys were just that good. It was a game of splitting hairs. The young European just wasn't. It wasn't a game of splitting hairs either. The young European just wasn't as good as the Japanese boy. Alan and Lou had discussed. It wasn't even close. Wait. Between Yoshi and Marco Polo, the gap was so wide that even Marco Polo eventually admitted the other boy was better. Alan and Lou had discussed the change in Yoshi ever since they'd decided to give him the nanobot medicine. After the boy had healed, they had concluded that the nanobots and the healing medication they'd given him, not only healed, but also began to alter his body at the cellular level. And Yoshi wasn't the only one. However, he not only had he healed, but also his body was altered at the cellular level. Alan and Lou had discussed Yoshi's change ever since they decided to give him some of the nanobot medicine. However, not only had he healed, but his body had been altered at the cellular level, and Yoshi's wasn't the only one. This matter was not the only problem that I had no control over. Alan had been keeping track of the data and found that not only had all those, and found some surprising results, period. Not only had all those who had been given the nanobot medicine become the model for human health, but they were continuing to evolve. And they weren't the only ones. The anomaly was spreading. It had been subtle at first, with just a few of those who were partners to those who'd received the medicine becoming healthier. And then it spread to those who worked in close contact with It had been subtle at first, with just a few of the partners of those who'd received the medicine becoming healthier. And then it spread to those who worked in close contact with people. But then it spread. Period. Those who worked in close contact with people who have been given the medicine started to show signs. Alan had waited almost a month before telling me his thoughts, his suspicions. Originally, Originally, he chalked it up to the advances in hygiene, diet, and medicine we'd introduced. And at first, his data correlated with that hypothesis. It wasn't until the unexpected gains that came from eradicating malnutrition, infant mortality, and poor hygiene were met that Alan became suspicious. As things stood now, every resident of Tsushima Island and all of those who came with Princess Ji, along with Hojo Chidori's retinue, and a smattering As things stood now, every resident of Tsushima Island, Iki Island, and all those who came all of those, every original resident of Tsushima Island, Iki Island, all of those, and all of those who came with Princess Ji, along with Hojo Chidori's retinue, were all showing the signs of being carriers of nanobots. When I was informed of this, I pretty much shit a brick. Then Alan told me that he was sure it wasn't communicable by air and seemed only to be transmitted through bodily fluid. That was when I blew my second gasket. After that brick came out, I quickly informed our command cadre that there would be no shore leave in Kamakura when we arrived. Then I radioed to the tower on Iki Island to make sure that those who went on the mission to Busan were informed there were to be no visits to the pleasure houses or any other brothels type of brothel on pain of death. I know I'd been harsh with my proclamation, but there hadn't been time to explain, and if the whole world became inundated with nanobots, our burgeoning physical advantage would be lost. That was the main conclusion that Alan and I had come to. The spreading of the self-replicating nanobots, while unexpected, was a positive thing. Alan had seen enough data that showed those with the new nanobots were heading toward a physical constitution similar to mine. The main differences were that their nanobots were extremely primitive when in comparison to mine. And also, no one else had a neural implant or AI companion. I shelved the nanobot growing nanobot problem for later, and then grinned down at Marco Polo. Go on and see to your charges. I need to make some transmission, I instructed him, patting him on the back as he stood up and stretched. Your team did well in the castle, I'm told, Jiro. Your team did well in the castle, I'm told. Jiro said that you were able to come away with quite a cache of information. Is that correct? He paused in the hatchway, looked back with an exuberant grin that only a teenage boy could pull off, and emphatically nodded. Yes, Ryo-sama, we found a treasure trove. All of the Hojo's Koga spy master's documents were exactly where Jiro-sama said they would be, underneath his private quarters in a secret tunnel. We used the cover of the destruction of the Mizuki fort as instructed and broke in, like you said, to. Period. And, like you said, comma, everyone was distracted. Period. We had no problems during the retrieval. We even left the note for Jiro-sama as he asked. I smiled wolfishly at that. I bet he's happy. I'm told that the... Okay, we gotta switch to Iga Ninja. That's what it is. Iga... I'm told that the Iga Ninja in charge is the one who gave the order to kill the main branch of... To kill the Koga clan's main branch, as well as the branch clans, including the children. Good job. Go get some rest. You've earned it. Tell the others the same thing from me. Marco saluted and left the bridge. I waited a moment to ensure he was gone, took a deep breath, and sat down at the radio terminal. It was a rare thing for me to get a moment to myself, and technically, I was never by myself due to having an AI inside my mind. But we'd come to an understanding where he left me alone at times like this. It wasn't quite solitude, but it was as close an approximation as I'd likely ever have for the rest of my life. After a moment of calm, I took a deep breath and grabbed the receiver. But just as I was about to speak into it, the radio burst into life. Aw, snap. Okay, that is chapter 2. Now it's chapter 3. All right, I think that's good for now. I'm going to take a little break. We're at 14,695. We got 5 more pages. Save that for now. Donkey, thank you for watching. I'm on for an hour and a half. I'll take a little break. I'll be back on later today. It's 11:50. I need time out. I don't like streaming this much. Is going to be rough. But yeah, good luck, everybody. I hope your books are going well. Things are well. And I will be back on later. Check out... Wait, let's do this. Let's do this thing. I got to do this thing. Check out the Story Forge podcast with Gabriel Rathwick and Dominique Bondesi. Look, I'm doing it right now. All our shorts are getting a pretty decent amount of views. But let me see. Then besides that, let's go to the thing. If you're watching this, check out my books. Gabriel Rathway. I Am Gamer, From Chef to Crafter to Conqueror, Earth Online. Chef goes back into the past from the future, medieval Japan before the Mongol invasion. Goes back in the past in North America before the European settlers come. Stoner comedy, silly lit RPG. Not lit RPG, Portal Progression Fantasy. Check them out. Oh, available on Audible, all those things. You got a link in there for the Audible link. But also here, for if anybody wants to check out Monsieur Dominique Mondesi, my partner in the podcast, new book just came out. Echoes of the Lone Wolf. Give it a read. Wonderful. If you like Fast and Furious in Space, Space Cowboy, Trigun, bang, bang, bang. Give it a shout. All right, I'll be back later. It's 11:51, maybe in like an hour or so, hour and a half. I need time out. I'm just staring at the screen. All right. Peace. I am gonna go. Let's go. End stream. Boom, boom, boom. Bye, bye, bye.